You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 282. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Spencer Valdez.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and other nifty content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy this program, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
You can also rate or review us on either of those platforms.
So today, Spencer and I are going to talk about two more issues of Turok, Son of Stone. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention that happened during the week, I got a letter from a super fan of the show from a resident of Minsk, Belarus.
What?
Yeah. Like, hey, people live out there.
Yeah, they do.
And, this got a long letter from this fan. I believe his name is LaRoche. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And anyway, he was really inquiring about where he could find the backlog of episodes. There was a lot of stuff that's not generally available any longer.
Right.
And he really wanted that stuff, and was like, okay, well, I can get that to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can share the Dropbox folder with him.
Yeah.
And and he said he had to hunt really to find a way to contact us, and so it made me realize we've been kind of lax on making it known. If you want to get in touch with us, drop us a line at comic.reflections@gmail.com, and I will reply to you as quickly as I can. I'll answer whatever questions you have. And yes, a lot of our backlog of older episodes are not available on our iTunes feed or just our feed.
Yeah.
But that stuff is being made available slowly. I'm getting it up on YouTube, so so everything will be there. But it's really time consuming. Don't hold your breath waiting for it to get caught up. But yeah, I thought this was really cool to get this fan letter, and I don't. We don't put it out there to, hey, get in touch with us as often as we should.
Right.
But it's really nice to hear from a fan, and
I think we're on the Twitter.
We are on the Twitter and all the social media platforms.
Yeah.
And actually, because I connected through Google Plus to LaRoche, our super fan in Belarus. Today, the day we're recording, is December 5th, and it is his birthday. This episode will drop about a week from now. Yeah. But happy birthday, LaRoche.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the show. Tell all your comic book buddies in the former Soviet Union to check us out. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Oh, also, he apologized up front for his English in the letter. And his English was beautiful. It was like it was exquisite, and it was like better than many Americans' English. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about these comic books that we've got.
Yeah.
The first issue we're going to talk about today is Turok, Son of Stone, number 106, cover dated November of 1976. But according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it hit the stands on September 16th, 1976. We have a beautiful painted cover by George Wilson. Give me a little bit of what's going on this cover.
We got Turok and Andar fighting off a big old meat-eating hunker.
Yeah.
While protecting some cave women and children, and a volcano going off in the background.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
It's pretty busy, but it's dope. What does the cover text say?
A volcanic eruption drives Turok and Andar into a den of frantic cave women and children.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did get some information about the frequency of publication of Turok during its near 25-year run. Let's see. From 1956 to 1963, Turok came out only 4 times a year, so it was a quarterly, basically.
Okay.
And then from 1964 to 1979, the bulk of the rest of its run, 6 times a year. Okay. But then the final 6 of the issues of the series were published between 1980 and 1982. In fact, there was only 1 issue published in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the series was all reprints by that time, but
Gotcha.
and Gold Key, which had by then changed its name to Whitman, but it was always just the comic book imprint of Western Publishing.
Mhm.
Um, I think went out of business by like 82 or 83.
Wow.
They
Okay.
gave up the ghost at that time, or at least publishing comic books.
Yeah.
Um, but they'd had a significant presence in the comic book field
Mhm.
for uh, decades. First as Dell, and then Gold Key, and then Whitman. And yeah, there's a lot of throwaway like licensed cartoon books,
Yeah.
but there's cool adventure story comic books that they put out. Stuff like Turok, Magnus Robot Fighter,
Uh huh.
Doctor Solar, Man of the Atom, um, Space Family Robinson,
Yeah.
Mars Patrol, and there are others. And it's a cool company, and there's some neat stuff worth seeking out.
Yeah.
And
Especially these Turoks.
they did Tarzan and what was Tarzan's son again? Korak.
Oh yeah.
They did the Tarzan and Korak. They did the Jungle Twins. They did the Brothers of the Spear. Those are all really cool series they put out. Dig the Invincible. Now I'm like, I can't stop thinking. Like, there's a lot of great Gold Key stuff.
Yeah.
Their Star Trek series is really fun too.
I think I have a few issues of that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, Gold Key. They had some cool comics. But anyway, do we want to talk about this book? I think we do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the lead story in this issue is called Forbidden to Kill.
Yeah.
And it was written by Paul S. Newman, penciled by Angelo R. Todaro, and inked by Alberto Giolitti.
Yeah.
What's going on in this story?
So we kind of pick up. I'm not sure if it was a continuation of the last issue.
Probably not.
I doubt it. But Turok and Andar are being chased by some angry cave folk.
Yeah.
And so they're lashing together a boat as quickly as possible. They look over, and this crazy dude has like a big like piece of meat, and he's like throwing it at a big honker that is also a meat eater that like kind of swims in the water. And they realize that it's like his pet.
Yeah, which is weird.
And so they're like, whatever, we got to get across this river because folks are coming. And Andar and Turok start to cross the water.
Yeah.
But this caveman comes over and he's like, no, cross. Crawl will attack you. You're not allowed to cross my river.
So Crawl is his
pet dinosaur. Yeah.
And the sound the Crawl makes is Crawl.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I see where he got the name.
Yeah. And so we find out that this caveman's name is Jord. And it's his river. He's not going to let anyone cross it. Well, Turok and Andar need to cross it because they
got him, man.
They got to get away from these other cavemen. While they're talking, another honker comes and attacks. And so they distract Jord with the other dinosaur,
Yeah.
and they take off across the river
Yeah.
on the makeshift raft.
When they get across to kill a bird, looks like a Ramphorhynchus.
Well, before they leave, Turok says, hey, I got an idea. And so he kills this bird, and he's like, I'm going to use it in case Crawl shows up. I can feed him like Jord does.
Yeah.
And he'll leave us alone.
Hey,
But first,
we got a Twinkie alert.
we do.
It's the Incredible Hulk and friends. Friends is in quotations. I don't know why. So what's going on with the Hulk here?
Hulk is angry.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Sal Buscema drew this, by the way.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really say anywhere.
I can just tell by looking at the art
Oh.
because I'm good. I'm not trying to be like, but like I can ID artists. I'm pretty sure it's Sal Buscema.
I think it's Toadman has pissed off the Hulk.
And in an early Silver Age issue of the Hulk, he did fight the Toadmen.
Okay. But he has a hostess cake.
It's cupcakes, right?
Yeah. Hostess cupcakes, the delicious chocolatey icing alone should convince you. He's trying to convince him
Of what?
to convince him that he's his friend.
Oh,
That's what the
the
quote's
Toad
coming.
Man.
Yeah. Hulk like moist cake.
Yeah, this is a weird one because you never see the superhero eat the
Yeah.
the hostess cakes, but this time he does.
Yeah. And by the end, Toad Man and Hulk are friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hulk did smash like a wall or a rock or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Come on, you can't have the Hulk and not have him smash something.
Yeah.
So, hey, but remember, you get a big delight in every bite of Hostess cupcakes.
Yep, you do.
Okay,
So,
so back to our Turok story.
the angry cavemen have caught up with Turok and Andar, and they are going as fast as they can across the river. Halfway through, another honker shows up, and I don't think it's no, it's not Crawl. Another one shows up, and it's about to attack, but as it's attacking, Crawl shows up and takes it down. And so Turok and Andar are like, okay, let's get out of here and let's move because a storm's coming. They're trying to get away from this caveman. There's just a whole lot just like they're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
And they finally make it across to the other side of the river. And they're immediately attacked by another honker. They kill it, and they are trying to. Oh no, they made it to an island. Sorry.
Okay,
it was an
cool.
island.
That's
Yeah. And they're trying to make sure that Crawl doesn't follow them. And so they kill the honker,
fine. Yeah.
and George shows up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I told you not to cross here. Starts slapping the water, and that's his way of calling Crawl.
What a dick.
Yeah. No, there's no like, I don't understand why George didn't want them to cross.
People are just territorial for no real
Yeah.
reason.
Crawl comes. They all get in kind of a scruffle, and
Is a scruffle a word? Scuffle?
scuffle is what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. I don't know why I need to split hairs there.
While they are fighting, George calls Crawl. Some of these names, like, I know that they're totally different names. They don't even sound the same, but they're all just like one syllable, like
And
name.
weird.
And weird. And so just trying to keep them all straight in my head.
Jeff complains about this too.
Yeah. Whatever.
Now you're Jeff
Now
today.
I'm Jeff today.
Ah.
In the fight, Jord pushes their raft out into the water, just to be a dick. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other reason.
Man.
And so Turok's like, no, I gotta go get it. And so he jumps in the water
Yeah.
with Crawl still in it. And then we have ads.
Okay. And then we don't.
Yeah. And then both Turok and Andar make it to the raft safely, but Jord is pissed.
Man,
And so-
Crawl is rad looking, by the way.
Yeah, he really is. The unfortunate thing, Jord has Turok's bow.
Yeah.
And so in a fit of anger, he shoots a bow and he shoots one of the
An arrow.
a poison arrow.
And he
I'm
tries to,
pretty
he shoots it at Turok, but he moves out of the way and it kills
sure. Right.
Crawl
Yeah.
instead.
And so they basically they get their raft back. Crawl's dead, and Jord is alone. He's
Good, you
now
jerk.
Jord alone. And so with Crawl dead, Turok and Andar just kind of take off in their raft, leaving Jord crying on the beach.
Ha ha.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Is that the end of the story?
Yeah, and that's the end of the story.
Well, good. Your pet is dead.
Yeah.
You jerk.
Um,
The end.
yeah. So the backup story
Yeah.
is called The Saviors.
It sure is. And it was written by Paul S. Newman, penciled by Angelo R. Todaro,
Uh-huh.
and inked by Alberto Giolitti.
Yeah.
It's weird at this point that Giolitti has gone from the penciler to the inker.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think an inker can maintain the
Yeah.
particular style that you're going for.
Yeah.
Over another penciler rather than being the penciler being the main guy and then have just some new guy inking him.
Yeah.
So I think you can have a consistency of style. Like this still bears a strong resemblance to the stuff Giolitti
Yeah.
penciled.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we start the story, and there's like 6 things going on in this one panel.
It's very busy.
Yeah.
Splash panel is very busy.
Turok and Andar are kind of running from a dinosaur and also kind of hunting it. It's a flesh eater. And then in the background, there's a big volcano going off, and then there's the big honker, and there's just a lot going on. They end up killing the honker, but then we kind of like get another perspective from these cave people.
Yeah.
And they're watching the volcano erupt. They're like, oh, it's demanding another sacrifice. And so they go and they go and hunt for a sacrifice. Just so happens they take the honker that Turok and Andar just brought down.
Yeah.
They start throwing rocks at them and they have to run away. And so Turok and Andar are like, well, let's follow them. And as they are following, there is a group of the flying honkers that come down and start are like kind of like running away, not run, they're flying away from the volcano. There's a bunch of other honkers like running away from the volcano, and they turn and it's starting to actually like fully erupt. But for the cavemen that have just stolen the honker, who were dragging it up, they believe that they were too late to offer a sacrifice to the god in the volcano. Oh no, there's another honker and it's running right for Turok and Andar. They take refuge in a cave. This cave is already occupied by the women and children.
Yeah.
Cave people. So they can't leave out because the volcano is erupting one way. And they don't want to go back deeper into the cave because there's evil spirits. And so...
Dang, your evil spirits.
Yeah.
They mess up everything.
Turok and Andar are like, no, follow us. And they light a fire, and they lead them out the back door. They're still kind of hesitant, but as soon as the burning water, as they called it, the lava...
Yeah. It doesn't even have the consistency of water, though. It's weird they would call it that,
yeah.
You know?
It starting to kind of move into the cave, and there's a meat-eating dinosaur.
I think it's an allosaur.
Yeah, trying to take refuge in the cave, but it gets caught in the lava and is burnt and dies.
Good.
And
man, that is a pretty sweet panel of the. I guess it's the T-Rex getting swept away by lava.
Yeah,
that's dope.
This causes everyone else to be like, all right, let's go to the back of the cave.
Yeah.
Evil spirits aren't going to be as bad as this stuff. And so they lead them through, and they make it out the back of the cave. It goes all the way through the mountain.
Cool.
By the time they get them out, Andar and Turok are like, all right, we got to separate ourselves from them, because if the men come back, they're going to be angry that we just... were with their women.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here. And so they take off, and that's kind of... It ends really abruptly.
Yeah.
We leave now. And that's the end of the comic as well.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? That story was like, I think the lead feature was better.
You think so?
Yeah.
Look,
it had more dino fighting action.
Yeah.
This one was like, let's hide in a cave and convince people not to, die or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick promotional break, and when we return, we'll be back with more Turok.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
1963.
Doom Patrol debut.
My Greatest Adventure, issue 80. 1964.
My Greatest Adventure renamed Doom Patrol.
Issue 85. 1968.
Doom Patrol Destroyed.
Issue 121. 1976.
The new Doom Patrol.
Showcase 94. 1987.
Doom Patrol Volume 2.
Kupperberg Lytle. 1989.
Morrison and Case.
Issue 19. 1993.
Pollack.
Issue 64. 2001.
Doom Patrol Volume 3.
Arkudi Hewitt. 2004.
Doom Patrol Volume 4.
Burn.
Shush.
2009.
Doom Patrol Volume 5.
Giffen Clark. 2012. 2013. 2014. 2015. 2016.
Waiting for Doom, the Doom Patrol podcast, because we're waiting.
Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean.com.
Aquaman and Firestorm fighting crime together. Soak 'em down or burn 'em up. No one does it better. Whenever you find trouble, they'll always be there to catch them in a bubble or even torch their hair. They stand for truth and justice in sea, on land, and air. Firestorm and Aquaman, they make a super pair.
The Fire and Water Podcast, celebrating Aquaman, King of the Seven Seas, and Firestorm, the Nuclear Man.
Available weekly on Aquaman Shrine, Firestorm Fan, and on iTunes and Stitcher.
I'm one of your hosts, the Irredeemable Shag, here to talk about Firestorm. Along with me is my co-host Rob Kelly, here to talk about some guy that talks to fish.
Really? You're going to pull this crap during the promo? Bad enough I have to put up with your shenanigans every week, but...
And we're back. So now, on to Turok, Son of Stone, number 118, cover dated November of 1978. And according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it went on sale on September 14th, 1978. Beautiful painted cover by George Wilson. We've got Turok and Andar trapped in a spider web.
A prehistoric spider web.
Correct. It's a cool cover.
Yeah. I like it a lot. I like that they show the team up that they kind of do in the story, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, you kind of get a hint of what their plan is, how they extricate themselves from this. Yeah, let's get into this issue.
Okay.
First of all the contents of this are reprinted from Turok number 59, which was from October of 1967.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think by this time, Turok was all reprints.
Gotcha.
I didn't get a chance to look and get that nailed down for sure, but I think that's the case.
Yeah.
But anyway, the lead story in this issue is called "The Web of Danger." Yep. No credit on the writer.
Oh,
but penciled by Giovanni Ticci and inked by Alberto Giolitti.
Yeah. So we start off really fast. Andar is falling off a cliff. They're making their way through some narrow ledges, and Andar starts falling. And so Turok grabs him, but Turok also loses his footing, and they start falling. But luckily, they kind of fall on a slanted ledge. So they start sliding more than they're falling.
Right.
But they're sliding, and they end up sliding into a giant net, what they think is a net. They're like, oh, yay, thank, goodness, or whatever.
Or the Great Spirit or something.
Or, whatever. That we fell into this net. But they soon realize that it's no ordinary net, that they're sticking to it.
Oh, crap. That means it's a spider web.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And
so it's a huge-ass spider comes out to kill them.
Right. And I mentioned this kind of off-air. I'm not a fan of the look of this spider.
Well, it's weird because I think it's cool looking, but this is the first time we've seen an animal in here that's purely just a monster.
Yeah.
It's not like an actual prehistoric animal.
Right.
Most of the time, they're at least trying to look like something from prehistory.
Yeah.
And this looks like a rhinoceros, armadillo type of thing.
Yeah.
With a spider legs.
Yeah.
And it's like, this doesn't look like any spider I ever seen.
In fact, it's not even an arachnid. It only has 6 legs.
Really? Is it like that in every panel? Let me look at the cover.
So.
Yeah, what the heck?
So it's not even really a spider.
Well, yeah, but stuff.
But stuff. So coming out of the cave is this spider thing.
Yeah.
And they
It is
Turok
weird looking.
And
If
Yeah.
this wasn't intended to be a spider, would you look at this monster and think that is cool? Just a six-legged thing.
I don't know, like just like the look of it looks, because it looks like it's supposed to be reptilian, but then it has these like bug legs.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
So, yeah, I feel like if it came out with reptilian 6 legs, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then
Then it would be like a DC Comics monster.
that's true.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Look at I love DC, but that is such a Silver Age. Superman's on a weird planet. Here's a six-legged animal.
Right. Yeah. And so they Turok and Andar start panicking.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get ate.
Man, that is crap. It does only have 6 legs.
Yep.
And it has a tail too, right?
Yeah. Turok
What kind of
grabs-
spider is this? And also has like a spine on its back like a Dimetrodon.
Yeah.
It's crap, man. I mean, it is cool looking, but it doesn't look like a spider at all.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Turok grabs his knife, thinking he can cut through. He can't. The spider thing is getting closer, and so they decide we need to team up. And so Turok grabs his bow. Andar is able to grab an arrow,
Yeah.
and they work together. Andar pulls the string,
Yeah.
and Turok like aims, and they fire at the spider thing, and it bounces off because it's armored hide.
But it does hit. Oh, it just
No,
bounces off.
And bounces off. And so they're like, oh, what are we going to do? It's getting closer. It's right kind of underneath them now. And Turok notices a big honker going by, a flesh-eating honker going by. He's like, let's shoot that one. Maybe it'll come over and it'll fight the spider thing. And so that's what happened. They explain it, and then it happens.
Yeah, it's very show and tell.
Yeah.
Marv Wolfman writes like this too.
Yeah.
It's like, Firestar, that rock, watch out for that rock. And like, the rock falling over near you, and then we see the rock falling near you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But so the flesh-eating honker comes over, and it's like, oh, I'll take care of this. And then the spider thing jumps up on its neck, bites it, and poisons it, and its legs wobble, and it falls over dead.
Man.
Yeah. So now Turok and Andar are really kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they're not as screwed. Because the spider is occupied with the honker.
yeah, but it's coming back now.
Yeah, but
Right there.
you would think they would be chilling there and like drinking the blood or whatever out of the dinosaur.
Yeah, maybe.
Not really drinking the blood, but you know what I mean.
Whatever spider thing.
Yeah, this
Not spider things do.
This is breaking all the spider rules, so it could drink the blood, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Turok looks up and he notices, hey, look at all those rocks that came falling after us.
Oh, plan.
Let's use those. And so
They
Turok
shoot.
and Andar shoot a rock, which causes
With an arrow.
another kind of
Rock slide.
rock slide
And the rocks fall on the spider and squish it.
and squish it.
And
The rocks fall through the spider web,
So they get loose.
and so they get loose, and then they spend a while in the water, and then they're not sticky anymore.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, like spider webs, they have like the tensile strength of steel.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, like so if a spider web was thick like a piece of steel, it would be that strong.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. We got a backup story.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this ad.
Okay, for Apache arrowheads?
Yeah. I want.
You're an Apache.
I am, and I just want like, not all arrowheads are Apache.
Right. This isn't marketing.
I just yeah.
I mean, where are what part of the nation are Apaches from?
The
New Mexico?
Southwest.
New Mexico?
New Mexico, Oklahoma.
Okay. So like this could be authentic if these arrowheads were found in that area.
Right.
But these are probably just
doubt
arrowheads made by some person
Yeah.
and sold to dumb kids.
Yeah. You send your letter to New York, New York. So I doubt that they're actual Apache.
Yeah. How do you feel about stuff like this?
I mean, it's old, and so I think,
I mean, this is 1978.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
not
I mean,
that it's okay.
Just tell how you really feel about it, regardless of age.
It bothers me.
Okay.
It bothers me only because it's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, it's weird though. It's selling it
Yeah,
as a thing. Like,
selling cultural appropriation, which is worse than just regular cultural appropriation.
I don't know. I think we could just say, in this case, I think selling something in this case is just cultural appropriation.
Okay.
I mean, I think. But how do you? I meant to ask you, how do you feel about Turok and Andar's representation as Native Americans in general?
They just seem like two dudes trying to find their way home.
Okay, and
You
so
know,
they're
like-
not talking in that terrible broken English like
Right.
Tonto or whatever.
Yeah.
So is it pretty good?
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
mean-
not insulting.
No, they were Native Americans, so they use a bow and arrow, and I think that's the only
I mean, and they live off the land and they like
Right.
track and stuff.
Yeah.
But like none of that's like horribly stereotypical, I
No.
guess. Like
because Native Americans did that.
to do those things. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. And they come across as like people.
Yeah.
So okay.
Not cartoon characters.
And they're smart.
Yeah.
So like if will you feel comfortable handing this to a native kid and thinking that like, yeah, Turok is a cool native hero for us to like, yeah, here this guy's one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
At least this. I mean, I feel like there's some newer stuff out there that I haven't read.
I'm just saying like the handful of Turok issues that you've read.
These are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would encourage them to look up actual native heroes.
Like Cochise.
Yeah.
Who was an Apache.
And Geronimo and like Sitting Bull and just
Chief Seattle.
yeah. All those guys.
Yeah. Other native dudes.
And like real representations of them, because there's the myth of
Right.
these guys and then there's the actuals. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
How come
Because the myth is cool.
How come in all the movies the Comanche are the bad Indians? Have you noticed that?
I'm Comanche and Apache,
Yeah.
and because they were bad dudes.
Were they?
Yeah.
They were like the gangsters.
Yeah. They
Okay.
turned their bows sideways.
Did they? No, they didn't. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like you could get an arrow off just as well that way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So-
Just
so-
made a bad joke.
So was that okay? Are you messing with me, or were they really like
No, they
the
really
bad
were.
guy
They
natives?
were like awesome and kicked white dude ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the backup story. It's called The Monster's Lair.
It is the monster slide.
No credit on the writer.
Really?
Yeah, I hate that. But penciled again by Giovanni Ticci, inked by Alberto Giolitti.
So they're just kind of making their way through. Turok and Andar
There we go.
are making their way through, just some land, looking for their, a way back to their home. And Andar looks down and he sees a fish, not a prehistoric fish, nothing like that. An actual fish that they would catch back on their tribal land.
Back home, baby.
Yeah. And so he's like really excited, but as soon as he's about to like say something, another like glowing kind of
Another glowing. A weird glowing
yeah
honker.
honker shows up and just eats it.
Yeah.
And so
which is
Andor's
weird.
like, Turok, look, I just saw a fish that we used to catch. And Turok's like, dude, it's been a while since you ate.
He says dude.
We've not been sleeping.
He doesn't say dude.
We're a long way from home. You're seeing things. And I was like, no, man, I didn't. I saw it.
I
Whatever.
swear.
And so Andar, before he kind of heads off to bed, says, look, I got to make sure that this glowing honker shows up again.
Yeah.
So Turok will believe me. And so then we have ads for, what is that? A flip it?
They're like bop bags.
Oh, I see. Okay. And
Remember
she's-
those?
Yeah. Okay.
So it'd be like sand in the bottom, and
Gotcha.
it's an inflated thing.
Yeah.
But they had like Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Woody Woodpecker and stuff.
Underdog.
Oh yeah, Underdog. He took dope to get powers.
Yep.
Just like Our Man.
Yeah.
Although Our Man is maybe my favorite member of the JSA.
Really?
He's just so cool looking. Like, I realize he's not that great when you really boil
Yeah.
things down to it, but like, he's better than Dr. Midnight,
Yeah, because
who doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Dr. Midnight makes no sense.
Yeah.
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 But man, Our Man is cool. He just got a great costume,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
and he's got a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
Superpowers
Doing drugs.
for an hour, doing
Oh.
drugs.
So let's jump back to Turok.
Yeah, please.
They wake up in the morning and they head off again. But as they're making their way out of camp, the glowing honker shows back up and attacks them. They're able to kill it. And Andar, even before Andar's like, look, man, I told you there's a glowing thing. Some flying honkers show up.
Right.
And so Turok and Andar take cover after some ads. Kind of
As
under
for
some...
toy dinosaurs and bugs.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look there.
Told you. Would I lie to you?
Oh, I wanted to talk about these shirts.
Oh, this is a t-shirt ad.
Gosh, they're so, like, great. There's a Starsky and Hutch one. Spacescape, which looks like the Death Star, but isn't.
I swear I saw one. It wasn't this ad, but it totally is like just the art from a Blue Oyster Cult album cover.
Yeah.
But with like says something different on it. They just totally just swiped that.
Nice. A Frampton shirt.
Yeah, Peter Frampton. Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Ridiculous. So Turok and Andor take cover, and when they come back, the flying honkers have only left a skeleton.
Dang, they picked it clean,
every
baby.
bit of meat off of it, but underneath the skeleton, Turok finds the fish.
That's so weird. I didn't realize how weird that was until just now.
Yeah.
The fish, like he swallowed a whole, and then the flying honkers didn't do anything, but they picked everything off of this.
Yeah. Maybe they got Phil right
Comics.
before eating that.
Hey, great close-up of Turok and Andar.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that Giolitti. It's underrated.
And so they're like, oh, it swam through here. Let's see if there's a way back, you know? And so they start swimming, and I was a little confused. It said an hour later, Turok beckons Andar, and both surface. I think they mean time passes with them swimming up and, getting air
Yeah,
and
they
all
didn't
that.
like swim
Right.
for an hour straight, like without getting air. Of course.
Turok has Andar follow him into kind of a cave system. And they get to the point where they're like, a few more, it's not like you don't 2 more swims. It's
Strokes.
strokes. There we go. I could not think of that
I was
word.
like, you're making these gestures, and I'm not getting what you're trying to say. I'm sorry.
2 more strokes, they're going to have to turn around. But as soon as that happens, they're able to break through the water and get some air again. And they end up in this cave. And they're looking around. They're concerned because this water is just kind of pooling here, and there's no, outlet for it. So Turok swims down looking for a way for where the water's coming in, and he finds just a solid wall with a small crack in it. He realizes, oh, this is where the water's coming from. It's the crack is too small for us to get through.
Yeah.
But maybe
An egg got washed downstream and went through.
yeah,
Pretty flimsy.
yeah.
It's like that old Connect 4. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Yeah. But while they're in the cave, they notice, oh, here's some honker eggs. Oh, but here's its mate. This other glowing honker shows up, and they fight it, or they don't actually fight. They just throw rocks at it at first, just getting it more and more angry. They duck behind some stalagmites, and in its thrashing, it hits one of the stalagmites, knocks it over, and it's a pointy, sharp one.
Yeah.
But before we go any further,
Hey, there's a house ad, which you almost never see in a Gold Key comic, for Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, because
So rad.
I forgot at this point, Gold Key or Western Publishing had the license for King Feature Syndicate, so they had Flash Gordon and probably Mandrake and the Phantom.
Yeah.
Probably.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, though, because they had it before, and then it, the license changed hands a few times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So back to Turok and Andor. This sharp stalagmite falls. They pick it up and they're like, well, we're going to use it and throw it at the honker. And so they lift it above their heads, and as the honker recoils to attack them, they launch this giant sharp stalagmite and hit it in the head. They don't think they killed it. It's just stunned. And so they're like, let's get out of here. And so they book it into the water. And then minutes later, they come back up on shore, and they're like, well, it's impossible for us to get home that way. That's a shame. And then it just ends again.
Yeah, what is this, like Quantum Leap? Oh no, Quantum Leap at least gives us a cold open for the next episode.
Right, yeah.
But it's just like, will the next leap be the one that gets him home or whatever?
The more determined to continue our search till we do find a way out.
Okay, so what do you think of this issue of Turok?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I liked it better than the other one, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too. The spider thing still bothers me because it wasn't a spider, and two, it looked weird.
And the whole story was just them trying to get away from that thing.
Right.
But it did have a lot of action, so that was fun.
Yeah. I like them trying to trick a flesh-eating honker to come and save them.
Yeah.
And then it just dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. You know what else is fun? This show.
It is.
Yeah. So, Comic Reflections is recorded in Portland, Oregon.
It is.
And produced by Sean Roof.
That guy, I want to throat punch him.
No, you don't. He's a good guy.
He's okay.
I think that's the best I'm going to get out of you on this subject. But yes, until next time, we'll see you in the funny pages.
Warlord Worlds, a fan podcast devoted to the comic creations of Mike Grell, including Warlord, John Sable, Starslayer, Shaman's Tears, and Green Arrow. I'm Darren.
And I'm Ruth. We hope you'll join us as we discuss the stories, characters, and art in the many excellent comics from writer and artist Mike Grell.
Warlord Worlds is available at podbean.com and on iTunes and Stitcher.
Find us at warlordworlds.com.
Do you think of yourself primarily as a singer or as a poet?
Well, I think of myself more as a song and dance man, you know.
Calls him Bob Dylan. It's Pod Dylan, the only podcast dedicated to celebrating the work of Bob Dylan. Pod Dylan, hosted by the freewheeling Rob Kelly and a roster of special guests, examines Bob Dylan's discography one song at a time. Proud member of the Fire and Water Podcast Network, Pod Dylan is available weekly at fireandwaterpodcast.com and on iTunes and Stitcher.
Forever young.